What's going on, living and investing in Bryan-College Station? Welcome to my channel. If you're new, please subscribe, as today is the day that I am introducing and rolling out my Cash Flow Friday. And so for those of you who are new, my channel focus on specifically if you were moving, living, or looking at moving or living here in the Bryan-College Station area of Texas, but also on an investment piece. I am an investor agent, so I have a lot of background as an investor. And so today is my Cash Flow Friday, where we focus on financial literacy and what I've always called a Cash Flow Friday, because it teaches you about what are the things you need to do if you want to start investing. And so I'll have a lot of specific examples that is in relation to Bryan-College Station, but also this is to help you understand why I believe you need to start investing in real estate in 2024. So welcome to my channel. If you're here for that reason, please subscribe, as I'll be doing this more frequently. But more importantly, my job is to be able to be here with you, educate you, and help you understand why you need to invest in real estate altogether. So today we're talking about what are the things you need to do to start investing in 2024. Now, my background, me and my wife started investing in 2017, and that was what I did before I actually started selling real estate and building my team. And I understood the power of investing, and it even started with our very first purchase. Like, we didn't just start out the gate purchasing real estate. And that's why we're legacy real estate. Like, it takes just one property. It takes one time for you to be able to go in and purchase your first property. Like, that's a scary thing for so many people, is you can be able to purchase that first property. And for me and my wife, it was our first home. And then when you do that, you get confidence. And then think about it. When you move into that first home, whether it's renting or moving, you start saying, man, I don't have enough space in this room, or I don't have enough backyard space, or I don't have enough acreage. My wife like gardening, so like, hey, I want to have more backyard space to be able to garden. Whatever it is, but the key is that you get more confidence regardless if you know it or not. I like, even the people that I show houses to, they like, man, like, I can sit in the living room and be able to look at the TV. So all that to say is that you gain confidence when it comes to allowing you to purchase real estate. So today specifically, I'm talking about investing. And why I started investing was just why I named kind of my coaching and my real estate legacy real estate. I believe that growing up, I was a football player. So my background history was I knew football was going to be my way as far as making into, you see, taking care of your family, taking care of the people that you love. And what I believed was that was the only way to make it until I got to a certain point. And then I woke up and, hey, I realized at that point, God was saying, it's now time for you to focus on being a business leader. And at that time, I didn't know it was real estate, had no idea. And then I went on this journey. I had like met people. I had my mentor in my life who still is in today, still here today, that helped me understand, like, hey, all right, it's certain things that you're going to have to do to be able to get into investing. And also, it's going to be something you have to maintain. So I'm going to switch this screen over so that I can show you that. And then I'm going to come back. So that's me and my beautiful bride. But as you can see, I already had it up. So legacy real estate. But the first thing is mindset. Like, I think we underestimate the ability of, like, what is it going to take for me to get to where I want to get to and have the right mindset in order to start investing. That means you have to start investing in books and, like, so make sure you tune in next week. I'm trying to look for my book. I'm going to talk about the top 3 books that I would recommend when it comes to investing. And the mindset is so key. First of all, you need to follow one philosophy, a philosophy that works for you, but it also rings true to you. Oftentimes, like for me, starting off, Robert Kiyosaki is like the number one person that helps you understand like why should you be investing. But when you and so when you start investing, it's different terms, it's different knowledge, it's different understandings, and it's different conversations you start to have. And here's the reality. Um, it can be a lonely journey. Because let's face it, let's go back and focus on mindset. When someone starts something new, the biggest thing that people need is the right support system. You hear the term, and I've always heard it, you are the sum of the five people that you hang out with. And the reason I believe that is said is because the way they handle issues, the way they handle challenges, the way they handle their family, their finances, is going to affect you. So if you're start looking and investing in real estate, but someone tells you, hey, like, you know any wholesalers or you know any bankers, or you start having those simple questions that it's a good question to ask. You got to ask yourself, well, where am I going to find these people? Like, and it's very hard to do this by yourself. Now, you have certain individuals who can do this, but I think regardless of where you're at, the mindset is so important. So, and that's one of the reasons I created Cash Flow Friday, is just to continue to educate and continue to show people how to get to this path of owning real estate. So for me, I'll tell you my story. When we first started in real estate, it was a light bulb to me. And for me, it started with me. I was renting. And that's why I love speaking about this. And that's why on my page, I will talk about the values of renting and not and buying. But we were renting a home. And for me, I was scared because I had that kind of Dave Ramsey mentality. I needed to save up a lot of money to be able to purchase my house cash. Now, my wife, I love her. She's been a great support system for me in this journey. But one thing I realized real quick is that it's going to take a long time. I was in sales. I did great, but I'm like, man, I don't have cash, right? But what I woke up to is no benefits when I am renting. Yes, I had someone comment on one of my shorts that I posted about rent. And it was like, shelters and security is very, very important. That's very true. But here's my mindset and here's my reality. I'm not trying to stay there. I understand that shelter and security is a necessity. And if you have it through renting, that's fine. If that's who you want to be and that's what you want to maintain, then guess what? I'm not going to be the person that you want to either hire me as your agent or as an investor, because I believe we take a step from renting to buying because we believe that we deserve something more. And also, we want to get to a point where I believe, and that's why Proverbs 13:22 says to leave an inheritance for his children. And the reality of that is that I need to not only have necessities and have the right type of homes, the security and the necessity of a house, and not just renting it, but I need to own it, because guess what's going to happen when I own it? I get to pass it down. And if I don't have anything to pass down, I believe that you now are putting you and your loved ones in a probably no better situation. So that is my thoughts. Like, and the mindset of that is just of how to maintain that and how to grow from that. And if I'm being comfortable, and when it comes to growing my journey as a real estate entrepreneur, that's what we call ourselves in a real estate tribe, as a real estate entrepreneur, then I'm not advancing. I'm not making myself better. And guess what? I have two kids. I have a young older son, Houston, and a youngest, Harlem. And I believe, let me see if I can find, there to go right there. So that's my family. Love them. That's my beautiful bride. And that's Houston. That's right there with me. And then that's Harlem right next to him. So we started this real estate journey. Well before, and I understood that my mindset and what I do and what I don't do is going to affect them. And we all, have our struggles where we have to get better, but it starts with embracing and maintaining a mindset. And so having the right support system, having the right people you're talking to. And so that's why people have these coaching groups. That's why I have a coaching group, but that's also why I have coaching groups that I join, and I create environments where we're talking about creative ways to buy deals. And so if you one of the things I do in person, if you're in Bryan-College Station, I do a cash flow Friday at the end of the month. Every Friday, we play the cash flow quadrant game. And in that game, it's just helping you escape the rat race mentality of basically saying, hey, I want to become better at learning how to not just have my basic income as my main source of income. Because when you're wanting to invest, oftentimes people want to invest for freedom. Sometimes time freedom, mental freedom, health freedom, not being concerned about where the next paycheck is going to come from. So that's important. So I spend a lot of time on that, but it's very key. And I promise you, the mindset doesn't change. It's just continuing to level up as you grow and want to invest in real estate. Okay, so mindset. And what I did is, it's a little blurry. Sorry about that. In what we have to understand is that we are a spiritual being, and I am a believer. If that offends you, I'm sorry. That's just who I am, and that's what I believe in. And so we're a spiritual creature. God created us. We have a spirit, and so we have to develop our spiritual nature. Therefore, we also need to develop our emotions, because it's as a spirit and as an emotion. Then, therefore, we can improve our minds. And therefore, when we improve our mind, we improve our body. And this starts with putting ourselves around the right people that's going to help us become a better person. So, oh man, I can spend so much time on this. This is the four quadrant. Cash flow quadrant was one of the books that I talked about, but we'll spend some time on this. But here's the thing, as from a mindset perspective, think about it. The more you're on the left side of the quadrant, you have a mindset to have a job or to own a job. Remember that. Keep that in the back of your head. Look at where most of the wealthy or the population are at. Well, 5% are wealthy as employees, and that's fine. If you're an employee, you love your job, that's great. I'm not knocking that, but I want you to understand something when it comes to just looking at this square. And when you're self-employed, you own a job, you have no leverage. This is what 95% of the population do. So when you have a mindset, guess what? You hang around those type of people. So when you are someone who's on that left side of the quadrant, you hang out with those people. That's where your mind is and sometimes the level of the job will determine the depth that you have when it comes to wisdom, when it comes to money. Sometimes, but sometimes it won't. So that is I'm gonna go into that a little bit more next time when I talk about my books the next week. But I just wanted to make sure you did get the chance to see that. So yeah, that's gonna be a lot of great stuff right there. So, which leads to your network. So mindset and network, I combined those two a little bit because one of the things you and I have to realize is this. I said it already. You are the sum of the 5 people that you hang out with. So what happens when you need a banker who has some creative financing? If they say, hey, I want to do 0 money down, or maybe I have 20%, but this is the only money I have. How can I grow this to at least get 5 properties with this money that I have right now? What is the strategy that I need to put it in place? What do I say when I need to have the right subcontractors to be able to come fix a thing? That's a big fear. In my coaching program, and even people that reached out to me before, they say, man, I don't know if I can trust this guy. We just had an insurance claim. We have an insurance claim going right now on one of our rental properties that we're selling, and it's a duplex. And in the duplex, the insurance adjuster called me and he said, hey, we'll give you X amount. I think it was $8,300 to be able to replace the roof. But he's like, make sure you get a good contractor, because what happens? You have to, when you start have to entrusting other people to get the job done, because here's what I don't do. Here's why I don't teach. In order to understand that chart that I just sent you, or I just showed you guys, I'm not going to tell you you need to be in a position where you are doing everything. I don't know how to change a toilet. I don't know how to do none of those things. Yet we have successfully been able to grow over 18 to 19 doors. I lose track. But and the point is with that is you have to start building a team, and your network of people that you hang out with will be able to, as you always hear, equals your network. But why is that the case? Because the value of the people that you hang out with is going to be able to equip or help you connect and be a better version of yourself. And if you're the smartest person in the room, you need to get out that room. So I need you guys to understand, like, network is a real huge thing when it comes to you investing in real estate in 2024, because you cannot here's an example I used to always think of. My mom, I love her. She's a beautiful mom, God-fearing lady, and she showed me, you know, how to go in this world and trust God in all that I do. Wonderful principle and lesson. But guess what? My mom didn't invest in real estate. She had a passion, like the whole story behind that. We talk about that in group coaching, but the reality is that that's irrelevant at this point. All I'm saying is if I was to try to go to her and I have money concerns or I have money issues when it comes to, like, how do I make these repairs work, and I went over budget, probably $1,000. Where do I find $1,000? Make sure that I'm not creating bad habits. And it's like I can't ask that question to my mother. Why? And my cousins, awfully, and sometimes the people who are employees who just live off of their paycheck, they don't want to understand how to have that conversation. They wouldn't know what to tell you. Oftentimes, what I always say is, like, don't take advice from people who is not further along than you. And so I reach back when it comes to the investment piece and say, this is what you need to do to become better. But also, you need to understand that you are someone who need outlets, and people in your network is going to determine if you have that or not. Okay. So, and last thing, and then I'll wrap up with this for today, is your financial statement. Now, you may say, Jabari, why is a financial statement? So I'll go into that later. Financial statement, like, why is that a big thing? Here's why I believe financial statements is very important. Number one, when you're tracking your network, this is a hard thing for me to do oftentimes, because you like, man, I'm not where I'm at. And, like, especially when I first started out, but your financial statement is your report card. We are raised to think of, when we grow up, as in school, we have a report card. We bring that report card home. What does that report card show? The report card show our behavior in certain subjects, and based on how well we did in that subject, we get a rating. Now, how does that work in the real world? You don't, those grades doesn't really equate, whether you have a good grade or bad grade. What matters is your ability to be able to have your ability to be able to have your ability to be able to have your financial statement and have that so that you can have assets that's going to be paying you income. So here's one thing that happens when you go to a bank and they ask you, hey, Jabari, like, what will it take for me in order to get a loan? Well, what we realize real quick is when we have loans on any of our houses, like, they have a balance, they have a value. And then how we purchase them with no money down, we use equity to be it, but they start looking at, oh, you've done this before. And banks, they love to see that you have done this before, because what they want is more to give out more loans. Banks solely exist to be able to give out more loans. So your financial statement and your ability to keep up with that and to see what your assets and your liabilities and how this needs to go up and the liabilities need to go down and that your assets is paying you. Like that is one of the important factors that you need to understand and wrap your mind around when it comes to investing in real estate, because those three things alone, when it comes to your mindset, your network, and your financial statement, is what's going to get you to get more out of life and to start investing in real estate in 2024. So I appreciate you guys for tuning in, and I thank you for watching this video. If you're looking to be able to move or come to Bryan-College Station, and you're curious about where the investment opportunities at, whether it's flips, whether it's buying something that's new construction that's already put together, make sure you schedule an appointment. You can text, you can call. The links below will be able to have the links that you need. I thank you for spending the time here on this Cash Flow Friday. Next week we will come back and I'll just talk a little bit more about some of the 4 books that I like when it comes to investing in real estate and see how they add value to you. But thank you for watching. Please subscribe so you can get notifications when we're back live. And please, if you're looking to live here in this Bryan-College Station area, please check out some of the home tours that I've done so far. And let me know if that's what you're looking for or not looking for. And I look forward to seeing you next time. Thank you for watching.